ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now, a special surprise guest, our dear friend Boston Brian. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing, brother?
I'm all right. How are you, my man?
I'm spectacular. We were just watching this fucking South Africa shit that happened in the White House and watching Peter Jennings just sweep the leg and kick Trump in the lower testicle by just ruin his whole like white genocide party.
I love how the guy was like, you know what? How can I suck up to Trump the most? How can I make this situation better? Do we know 3 white South African golfers we could bring?
Oh yeah. Well, Trump like asked him to bring him or something, or invited them along, and I was like, what's he gonna do? Evacuate them too? And then like it starts out with this whole like it's terrible and there's a white genocide going on, but the young golfers are really doing great. It's so fucking weird. Yes.
He's practiced.
Right, yes.
But how are you, my friend? How's everything?
It's good. It's good. I'm enjoying.
I can't see you, but I bet you look beautiful.
Oh, sorry. Wait. Sorry. We're all there. You go. Bink. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah. It popped up in the other. Hi. There we go. Look at us. How you doing? What's happening, my man?
Well, I'm sorry to crash the show. I really am. But
I'm not sorry.
I wanted to come in and say hi, and I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you and in the sparklers, and I feel like it's about time. Big things happening in the future. I don't know if you've heard, but I've committed to relinquishing my plumbing career to move to California and do this full time to make this. Now I'll be your colleague, I guess you could say. Hopefully now, so I'll see if I can slip into the 35 seconds a week that you're not.
Right. Well, the nice thing about that is we'll be in the same time zone, so I could just throw to you directly. Like you and I can coordinate a bunch of shit that way. Then we don't have to worry about what time is it where you are, what time is it where I am. Right. Yeah.
Right. That would be fantastic. And not only that, but I have an upcoming trip to Ukraine to deliver some aid and vehicles. So, I've appreciated the support of the sparklers that were in the chat and did hear the announcement I made. So it's very nice to see the support from not only them, but, people from all the other communities that have, reached out and said their good lucks and thank yous and stuff like that. So I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Also, and I feel, hold on, let's see this one right here. Yeah. I feel like we have to, I love that you're here. I hate to interrupt the fun that we're having, but I obviously have to go to our sponsor. We got sponsors here right now, so if you don't mind, I'm going to play our sponsor real quick.
There's one simple pepper trick that anyone can do at home to relieve nerve pain. I've never admitted this publicly, but
my husband even got worried about how much flab I've been losing. He even asked if I was following some secret diet.
Have you been eating worms? No.
Mike Lindell. You're going to court, brother. You're going to court. Tell us about it.
Sorry, I want to jump straight to the deal we're getting on
elections in the world, not the worst. And we are going to get there, Steve, and we're under a timeline. We can't let our president's 4 years be just a blip in history and all for
they're going to be, by the way. We're going to look back on this like
are those pillows?
Yes, he's selling big America pillows. He's surrounded by a bunch of because then they go into the sales pitch.
Just for the War Room Posse, those Giza Dream Sheets, our flagship sheets that you all wanted.
He said flagship, simmer down.
Any color, $49.98.
He didn't say flab shit. He did not. He said flagship.
Today is
it's been a while though.
Oh yeah, you get a free, totally not smelling like turpentine. Like a pillow that will, if you sweat while you sleep, will stain your face with the American flag like a true patriot.
Jesus Christ.
And then it ends with a big pillow fight between him and Steve Bannon. But I can't show it because I got a content strike against revenge porn.
Guaranteed not to make your head pink like Donald Trump's.
Right. Like his weird, like, slice line. Yeah. His punk redneck.
What happened with that hairdo today? Like, what was going on with that?
Yeah, it was wet.
Somebody missed a spot. Some slim pickings up there today.
It started to like diverge at one point. Like it started to like split and go the other way. And he like, dude, zero cleanup. Like nobody gives a shit. And I think that's the sign. I don't know if you've noticed this as well, but like on all the thumbnails for everybody that we've been watching, that you and I watch on the regular, they've stopped trying to make him look good. If anything, I feel like they're picking the worst shot because fuck this guy. There's either somebody in their staff hates his guts, or they're just like, I don't care, fuck him. Blah. But they're just
We've been saying that about the producers at Fox for a long time now.
Yeah. But
like,
it's spread now.
What's going on here?
It's spread to Newsmax, to Glenn Beck, to Peanut Butter Dickhead, and all those guys. And yeah, so... Did you?
Well, they better change the name of the Golden Dome to the Pink Dome if it's going to continue to look like
if
that.
His hair keeps falling out. Yeah, the peach dome.
And that's another thing too. This whole Golden Dome nonsense that everybody, the 25 billion added already to the the bullshit bill there. And then not only that, but none of it makes any sense to me. The math doesn't math.
No,
the amount of missile sites that they're saying that we need doesn't math. I mean, the whole point of a dome is to have the intersecting defense of the missile defense batteries. You know what I mean? You're supposed to, each one covers 60 miles and they're supposed to intersect and overlap so that, so it creates this artificial dome-like apparent, thing.
Well, that's why it works in Israel, because Israel isn't that big and most of the population centers are under that central area. But the United States is fucking gigantic. And did you see
450 times the size of Israel, right? Israel has at least that we know of 10 Iron Dome batteries, right? So just doing the simple math on that, we would need somewhere in the area of 4,500 missile defense batteries scattered throughout the country to be able to cover the the square footage that we need.
These aren't even rocket batteries, because that's the one thing about like the Iron Dome is meant to do these like dumb rockets, the rockets that fly in on the regular, not necessarily ballistic missiles or nukes or whatever that travel that fast. Certainly not hypersonic missiles. It's designed for to bat away conventional warfare for the most part. So we have a similar thing on all of our coasts, anyways. And if we don't have it there and we see people coming close enough to launch those kind of things, we send submarines and shit over to that area, right? And we got plenty for all of that air. It's just so fucking dumb. But the dome, when
there's reasons that we have a small amount of attacks to show against our country, right? There's a lot of reasons for that, not just the location of our country, but also our defenses that people know about. I mean, there's reasons why people don't just fly planes over to the United States and start dropping shit. You know what I mean?
They literally, like terrorists literally had to come over here and take one of our planes to do it. Like, that's how hard it is, right? You couldn't even like if you took control of an airplane, traveling from overseas into the country, it wouldn't have worked. 9/11, right? That's the, somebody's saying, what about you mean mutual assured destruction or Mothers Against Drunk Driving? Because you spelled it with 2 Ds. Mutual assured destruction, again, is an umbrella under which Russia can just attack anybody they want. And if you try to stop them, they'll threaten you with nukes. That's what that is. And I would argue Iran wants a nuke for that very reason. Iran, I don't think, wants to nuke anybody because you can't, if you believe in the Palestinian right of return, like they say they do, and they want to get rid of Israel and bring everybody back there, you can't nuke the fucking place and make it glow in the dark. Nobody wants the Temple Mount, night vision style, right?
But the math ain't mathing either. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I agree about where these things would be, and we already have a similar deterrent. So he's just going to pretend it exists. The other thing too is this is a perfect boondoggle for Trump, because you can have this thing and never need it because nobody's going to attack us like that. Nobody expects an attack like that. So we're going to have cyber attacks. While they're like doing cyber attacks on fucking hospital chains, that's what we have to worry about, not a fucking hypersonic missile. But in the meantime, during his time, he can just throw fucking money all over the place, paying for this thing to get done, and use it as an artificial, to hold up the economy for jobs and investment and all this kind of stuff, using taxpayer funds just for weapons instead of healthcare. Because again, if you took that money and put it in the hands of Americans in terms of consumers, or help them with healthcare or those kind of things, that money would still work its way out into the society and end up helping the economy as well. It's just not macho. It doesn't make his mushroom fucking tip any bigger. And that's the problem for him.
I forgot to say, by the way, I apologize. I have my show right after yours, so I don't have a ton of time. I have to set that up. I've been doing a lot going on for the trip. But I mean, I always thought that companies like Raytheon and the rest of these defense contractors were known as like the deep state to the right. Like I thought these were companies you didn't want to feed billions and billions and billions of dollars into, and like they controlled everything behind the scenes. And the Jews are actually the defense companies.
That was before the election, my friend. You got to. Okay. Let me show you something. This is a good example. This is a similar kind of a thing. So I'm sure you've seen the peanut butter dickhead guys at Valuetainment. You know these assholes.
Hey, only $40,000 for a Manect with a pretty big douchebag.
Yeah, right. You can Manect with him, which just sounds
$40,000. $40,000. That's how much he charges for one of these stupid cameo like things.
Is that technically a stupid tax? And you pay, and you can. Hey, if you can take it off your salt, I guess maybe that works. It's the same amount as the salt negotiation. That's why all the right wingers are suddenly. Well, I can write off my Manects with peanut butter dickhead. But I want to show you something real quick. This is the top end of this. I think you should be able to hear this just fine. But
last clip I want to play, Rob. If you can play this clip of Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, the two of them, they're sitting there being asked about Epstein. I don't know if you have this clip or not. There's a clip of the two of them. Maybe we'll play this one and then Stephen A. Smith, and we'll wrap it up. Do you know which one I'm talking about, Rob?
I have it right here.
So if you can play this clip. So they're being asked about Epstein, and then Dan answers as well. Go ahead and please. I'm going to get the team's reaction here. Go for it.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
Look at I gotta say, buddy, my favorite is fucking Bongino, because he is like, he looks like dinner theater RoboCop. Like they've stretched his fucking face back.
He looks like he sells foreheads.
He's on the showroom.
He looks like a forehead salesman that has to go door to door that whacks the shit out of that. So
is that yours? No, I have a lease with an option to buy.
Do you want to look just like this?
Yeah. You can bump it yourself.
What do you do? Just go in there and say, yeah, just right down the middle. Can you just give me a line right in the middle?
I don't know. At some point, what must the back of his head look like? Just shave it, right? Everybody's shaving it, you macho dickhead, right? So, but the important thing is, look at this. With eyes wide open, I'm staring at the whatever. But you know he does not want to be asked this question because he told everybody. He lied his ass off to everybody that there's a deep state and they run everything. And then as soon as they get in there, it's fucking straight up like, they killed himself. Like, that's what everybody thinks. Like, they're all.
Did we check to see if they've erased all of his past episodes yet?
Oh, yeah, right. Just
wipe the file clean of all of his podcasts.
All of Rumble is a big 404. Watch this. So here we go. Hold on. Let me play this. Let's play it for you. There you go. Hold on.
He killed himself. You want me to get? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work.
Well, I guess.
What, killing yourself? All right. So, anyways, this is the important part, though. Their reaction.
Case closed, guys.
Hey, guess what?
I guess we figured it out.
I love Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino looks like he didn't want to. He killed himself. He killed him. I don't know.
How much do you believe them, Vinny?
Adam.
Kash Patel.
They work for the intelligence
Dan Bongino.
community.
High credibility in your eyes, right?
Anything that has to do with the Epstein, I don't even know what the hell to believe from anybody.
You get the general idea. Like, they are.
He's like, I just watched this guy for the last 5 years tell me that there's absolutely something going on behind the scenes. And now he's actually in power telling me there's nothing going on behind the scenes. Right. And I just don't know what to make of it.
And there's only two answers. Either he's full of shit or I'm full of shit. And both of them give me the sads.
And it's like, and Trump's the president right now, and that can't possibly align with this.
He was also the president when Epstein was arrested, died, and all of the evidence that was taken from the island vanished, right?
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah. Who was, if you don't mind me asking, this is obviously a question, these little details, they bother me. But good to see you again, Cash. We have the same ophthalmologist. Anyways.
I thought this was an ashtray. I'm sorry. He does that in so many episodes.
Yeah, he does that.
Flicking a cigar and random shit.
Yeah, but there's no smoking in here. Well, can you save this for me? I've got a thing. The issue, like, either you're an asshole or he's an asshole. This is the only option for these guys. And the idea that they just won't allow themselves to put together that Trump was in office, when Epstein was caught, and he hired Alex Acosta, who gave Epstein his sweetheart fucking deal, right? And then he's back in office, and suddenly,
Bondi.
Oh yeah,
Pam
Bondi was a part of it. Absolutely, puts her in charge of it, and suddenly he was like, "Yeah, he killed himself. There's nothing to see here."
President.
I gave him all the files. I gave Mr. President, I gave him all the files I had. I have like 5,000 videos and stuff. They've all got to be redacted.
No, and you know what? It's crazy too, because
I'll let you get on. I'll let you get on in the hall.
Show with this. But the fact that even Laura Loomer would go as far as she did to call out Pam Bondi instead of Donald Trump, or not even name Donald Trump, I think says a ton. You know what I mean? It's
more than anything.
Definitely trying to obfuscate. That way, if somebody has to go down with the ship, it's going to be Pam Bondi and not Donald Trump, right? But that way, it even lines up with your theory of putting a woman in charge of something he really doesn't want to fail. Succeed.
Yes,
right.
And I know you got to go. We'll toss over to you. You're going on in about an hour. Yeah.
8:30. 8:30.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I just need to set up a few things and get
understood.
Ready. I apologize. I wish I could stay longer, but I got so many freaking things I need to do.
I know it's a real job. It starts to become a thing.
Well,
man.
Not only that, but international travel is a different animal altogether.
Yes, it is.
Than, just pop into a different state over here. So there's a lot of talk to get it wrong. Not only that, but it's a very serious thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't obviously get too much into it, but there's a lot on the line. It's not a, it's not a vacation by any sense of the imagination. So.
All right. Well, we love you, brother, and I'm very excited.
Thank you so much.
And anytime I'm in LA and you're there doing your show or whatever, or I'm doing mine, we'll meet, halfway or get together and do a co-show or something. That'd be bitchin'.
It should be at least a lot easier now.
Yes.
So
well, certainly than being on opposite coasts. Yeah. I think so. Ever so slightly.
Safe to say that. And all right. Idea. I'll let you kick me out too, because I've watched your shows.
See, he's a good man, ladies and gentlemen. Boston Brian, give it up for him. Fantastic. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. It's awesome. All right, see, and that was easy. That was so easy. He's such a pro now. It's fantastic. That's why we love him. There he is. Good night, brain. Sorry, dude. That happens. Brian, a boy they call Brian. I was going to show you guys that clip next of Peanut Butter Dickhead and those guys over at Value Turdment. What are we going to call them? Where they're just fucking coping. They're coping. There's so much fucking cope. And they're never going to... I don't know why I'm talking like Bill Burr. There's so much cope. They're coping. It's you know what it is? It's Brian's accent. That's what it is. That's this bullshit. They're coping. Why are you doing this? Like you even fucking know, right? Look at this guy trying. I'm doing my Trump fingers. Trying desperately to not let the two synapses in his fucking head, one that contains the name Donald Trump and one that contains the name Jeffrey Epstein, and the synaptic wiring between them that would be the umpteen visuals of them partying together for 25 fucking years. So, yeah.
Anymore. And to be honest with you, killed himself, whatever. I don't, at this point.
86'd himself.
Exactly. Thank you. I don't care. Do you know what I care about?
Yeah, you do care. You have to care. You don't get out that easy. You don't get to cop out, motherfucker. You don't go, I don't know what to believe. You know what? It doesn't even matter. It fucking well does matter. And just because your dudes are suddenly on the take or some shit, because that's what you absolutely fucking think, you don't get to back out of all the shit you were selling this whole time. Tell you what, there's no Hunter Biden laptop. Feel free to fucking at me. There's no laptop. A hard drive floating around with the name laptop is not a fucking laptop. Eat shit. I'm standing by it. And unless you bring me that fucking thing and you can boot that motherfucker up and people can see the files actually are on it, there's no Hunter Biden laptop. Fuck off. I will stand by that. It doesn't even matter if there is a laptop. No, that started, and my thing even started off as kind of a joke, but now I'm like, that it turned out to just be fucking true. But you don't get to fucking walk away from that shit.
Elaine Maxwell and all the people that she knows and all the customers and all the by the way, tens of thousands of hours of Epstein and his people having sex with underage children.
Tens of thousands of hours? Absolutely, Boston Brian, we love you. Thank you. No. Tens of thousands of hours? What the fuck are you talking about? What do you just try to give Pam Bondi more fucking time? Also, you can't clear some of that shit right away. If there's 10,000 hours, you can't single in on a couple of thousand hours. Like, hey, which one has people that aren't Jeffrey Epstein? Here's 5 videos that have Jeffrey Epstein in it, and we'll use AI to blank out the other people. Anybody who's not Jeffrey Epstein, outline their body in total black, and that you can absolutely do that now. And then, same thing. And then anybody else, just put those videos up, whoever it is. You can't do that? What do you got? Sorry, are we to believe that there's tens of thousands of hours of Jeffrey Epstein and his buddies, but you'd have to sift through it forever to find somebody you give a shit about? Like, I don't know who that fucking guy is. That's just Trump's buddy who ran a modeling agency. I want to see Bill Clinton or Bill Gates. If it's not one of them, keep sifting. Bullshit.
Where are I want arrests. I want those people. Kill himself, that's okay. We're not stupid. We know what happened. If they say he killed himself, whatever. Maybe they gave him an ultimatum, Adam. Or maybe they're like, hey, listen, we're going to shut the cameras off. You at least better do it. Or
yeah, you kill yourself or we're going to kill you. Because he'll totally do that.
It's going to be hell or high.
When we do it, it'll hurt.
For you. So maybe, I don't know. I don't care at this point. I want the customers. I want the people that were at that island. I want the people that...
One of the customers invites you to events at Mar-a-Lago, dipshit.
On those tapes.
Yeah, Chris Doug is saying, what if Epstein is alive? I agree. That's another strong possibility. If you're going to entertain the conspiratorial aspects of it, for me, that's the winning one. That he actually swapped with somebody that they, took out, while he was out and about before they arrested him. He had bags of his own blood taken. They found somebody who looked like him, put a bunch of that dude's blood in there, swap the bodies out. $1 billion will buy you an exit strategy. And if you're worth $12 billion, you can part with one to escape and go have your face redone, right? If it can be done by Rutger Hauer and Nighthawks, it can be done by somebody who's got $1 billion to spend on this. But it doesn't matter anyways, because you don't have to connect Jeffrey Epstein to anything else. All the evidence is there. Whether he's dead or alive, it doesn't quite matter. Trump is in the White House, and they were best friends. Get the fuck out of here.
Them exposed. This doesn't do anything for me. I don't believe anybody anymore. I don't. I actually don't.
I mean,
that's who I want.
He does. By the way, that's not true.
I think the people want. I think everybody out there wants to know who are the people that were there. If Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail for selling and sex trafficking girls, human beings, where are all the customers? You can't arrest Tom for being a drug kingpin and no other arrests are made. It doesn't make any...
I will say it's a bad analogy because drug kingpins, when you arrest them, you don't necessarily bust all the drug users. Stupid. Like, this is how dumb these guys are. They can't even...
This I don't care about.
No,
I don't
that
care.
was a close one.
Yeah.
Don't expose me.
Yeah. But
you don't care about that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
Adam, because you know what, Adam? We're never going to know. We're not, all the stuff that...
Yeah, we're never going to know. If Bongino and if Bongholio and fucking Cash Patel are doing the deep state line, just count on truth being opaque from now on.
Up, the cameras were off, the guard was gone,
exactly.
his cellmate was on. I don't care. We're never gonna find out. I want the people that were hooking up with kids.
If I may, I don't want to weigh in on you guys going back and forth.
Boy.
But I'm gonna say this. Did Hitler kill himself?
Oh, fuck off.
Oh no.
Hours before, somebody else was probably gonna do it for him.
Says who?
Probably.
Right?
Yeah.
So did Epstein
No, not probably.
hear that? Okay, look, the thing that went down in Florida, you got out of that. There's no getting out of this one. That's it. It's not where it's going. And
one of your main clients is the president of the United States, and if there's a way to get you out early or on the down low, hidden some way, you probably have a better shot than any human being in history to be like black site removed from the prison and replaced with some dipshit who dies in his cell, and then flown to your island so you can gather up some of your shit, and then off you go to the fucking Philippines to hide for a decade.
you know what? You got a couple choices here. You know, you're going to get it, or you can take the way out and do it yourself.
Well, there's a lot.
What, and also, what the fuck is that? What do you think this is, a you can't fire me, I quit moment? God damn, these people are stupid. Because again, the only way you could threaten somebody, the only way somebody's ever going to do themselves in this situation is if you go, if you don't do it, we're going to kill your family, members of your family. If you can kill yourself, or we're going to kill them, they're going to, be killed, and you can't do it. You'll never be able to stop us. But if you kill yourself, we'll leave them alone. Now what a trust exercise, because you have to trust that after you do yourself in, that they won't just go ahead with it anyways, as a warning to other people who tried to, broker a deal at some point. So that never works for me. Like I always see that in a movie, and I'm like, why don't you just kill the person that came to tell you that? And then when the mob bosses go, "Where's our guy?" you can go, "He never showed up."
People that think that Adolf,
I mean, if you're that terrible,
ended up in Argentina, and, as well as a bunch of other Nazis.
Pretty.
Okay, well then
feasible.
Step back from that. I don't know. One.
Great, so maybe Epstein's in Argentina. Sure. Okay. Anyways,
I mean, I wasn't there hanging out with the guy. Kanye was, though.
How many cornered serial killers or cornered killers off themselves moments before the police are finally going to come through the door? Right? We see that all.
Not as many as you think.
Time. It's the cheap way out for the killer who doesn't want to go to prison and doesn't want to be arrested and doesn't want to be taken alive.
It's also the favorite way of leaving the earth for people who have information on the sex lives of politicians and celebrities.
What you're saying is, Tom, that whether he did it himself or someone else was going to do it, it was inevitable.
Yes, that's what I think. That's what I think. And there are other people out there that seem to think that. So could Cash and...
Who cares what they think?
And Bongino, both are friends of the podcast. We talk to them, just full disclosure. Mm-hmm. But,
Of course you do, asshole. So you're on the hook. That's the reality of it, dumb fuck. You're on the hook. You don't get to jettison this talking point or distance yourself from it. These are your buddies. You sucked up to these motherfuckers. You told everybody that they were going to come in there and clean fucking house. They're basically going to shut down the FBI. Fuck all this nonsense. And they're going to release all this stuff on day one, right?
Are they speaking the truth about it? Yeah, I'd like to think that both of those guys that we think highly of are speaking the truth. However, in speaking the truth, it's okay. Why did he do it at that time? And then it sure seems pretty convenient that cameras go off and the things changed in the detention.
Yeah, the people who said kill yourself or we'll kill you wanted him to have privacy. Why wouldn't, if they're like kill yourself or we'll kill you, and the point is to have people see him kill himself, why wouldn't you want the evidence that he did it if you didn't do it? This is so fucking dumb.
But
this is what happens when you try to cope about this shit. This is the problem that they have. This is all this thinking, all of it, is simply to mask the, holy shit, Trump was Epstein's best friend.
Those cameras were off. The guard moved. The roommate went to another cell. There's some things.
The roommate. Yeah, it was the weirdest episode of Perfect Strangers ever.
Happened there that aren't explained, and say, okay, guys, that's it. But what about the rest of your police investigation, Cash? I'd like to hear that. Okay, what about the rest of the circumstances that went down with the guards, with the cameras, with everything else? What about the rest of the circumstances, even though you and Bongino were saying, we've seen the pictures, we've seen the file, we're looking in there, that is a suicide.
All right, well, if you've seen the pictures, you've seen the file, how did they communicate, kill yourself or we'll kill you? Was there somebody with a fucking Aldous lamp and you could see him out this prison fucking window and they were like going, clack, 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 with a fucking light? And he was like, slow down, I'm a little rusty. ... dash, ... dash, ... dash. Lick your surf or we'll lick you. Well, hello. Clack, clack, clack. Oh, not lick. Oh, I see. I got the letters back. Sorry. Dash, dash. I always get my L's and my K's mixed up. Kill yourself or we'll... Oh. Clack, 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 clack. When? Right.
Signs of struggle. That, okay.
I promised to kill myself on my deathbed. How's that?
On that. Okay, what about everything else? I want to see the full explanation.
Yeah, it seems highly questionable. By the way, you know who weighed in on this whole Epstein thing was Elon Musk. Do you have that clip, Rob?
Oh, they play the clip of him in Qatar, saying, how dare Bill Gates question me when he hung out with Epstein or something.
Right. Yeah, Vinny just texted it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, this is weird. Did you see this?
Yeah.
I do.
By the way, Elon Musk introduced Mark Zuckerberg to Jeffrey Epstein at a party. Mark Zuckerberg has met Jeffrey Epstein all of one time at a party for a bunch of billionaires, and he was introduced to Jeffrey Epstein by Elon Musk. For the record.
I want to ask you about...
according to people who were at the party.
USA.
And Mark Zuckerberg.
And the comments that Bill Gates made the other day, which and I know that you called him...
Yeah, he's a huge liar.
I know, you've said that already.
He says he's a huge liar, by the way.
Oh, huge liar.
I wondered...
Also,
and I'm just...
Who does Bill Gates think he is to make comments about the welfare of children, given that he frequented Jeffrey Epstein?
Okay, well...
Ooh, wow, applause break.
He said he regrets those, and he's spent.
I wouldn't trust him to babysit my kids.
He's got a lot
of course you wouldn't.
Around the world over the years. My question to you is: have you looked at the data to check if he might be right that the cuts to USAID might cost millions of lives?
Yes. I'd like him to.
No, he hasn't.
Any evidence whatsoever that is.
I do.
So that's the cut. That it's a loop. They're playing it off of Twitter or something.
But you notice her? She's like, yeah, but he helped so much. The Melinda Gates and all that. Brother, they're shutting that down, aren't they, Rob?
Dan Bongino and Cash Patel.
He's going back to it. You tried to sidestep it, but you're not going to get around it. One last thought. And by the way, CSL, I got to tell you, brother, grabbing the still of this asshole, which nothing sums up like just it's not good. Better than that. Just harump. So
the energy was very different pre getting in the job.
Yes, sir.
You're so close. They're so close. They're so close to it.
Versus once they got the job.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What does that tell you? They talked a big game, and then they got in there, and now they sound exactly like the deep state. So again, Occam's razor. There's one of two possibilities: they're lying assholes, or you're a gullible dipshit who might also be a lying asshole. I don't want to take that away from you.
It's either they find out who's holding who hostage. It's either they put stuff in front of them to say, here's what we have on you.
Right. Okay. So Dan Bongholio and Cash Patel are being blackmailed into not telling the truth about Epstein's death by someone with more power than them? I mean, wouldn't they just go to Trump and go, hey, these people are fucking with us, send in SEAL Team 6 or something?
I think that's the one, but that's the second thing.
Why don't you think that's the one? Oh, because they'd have to be as skeevy as Trump. I see.
It's either they realize they need that to be able to control assets. Other people are holding the people in the White House hostage. Or...
Jesus Christ. So now Trump is hostage. Or you guys could just be gullible dipshits. You bought it. You fucking bought it. Because you wanted to. You served yourself up, you lazy bastards.
They're just telling the truth.
Yep.
And you have to believe it. And the last one is the fact that they may have given them weapons and said, kill yourself. So forever they could say they...
Weapons? You mean paper sheets?
Killed himself. To categorically make it right that they're not lying. But he didn't kill himself. You know, it's a different kind of a situation, you know, that he was in.
No, we don't know. No one knows what the fuck you're talking about.
But, Adam, your thoughts here, and then we'll move on to the last story.
I like how you kind of gave the options here. I filtered it down to two options. Number one, it is the truth, or at least it's truthiness, right? That he...
Jesus Christ.
Offed himself. Or number two, which I actually think is way more likely, is that there's a big difference between talking about what you're going to do when you get to the job versus actually seeing what the hell's going on behind the scenes when you get the job as the FBI director. So
what? Sorry, how would that apply to this? That applies to like talking a big game about who you're going to prosecute maybe, and then it turns out you don't have the evidence. And when you got in there, you actually looked at the files like, oh, I see. Okay, they didn't file because you're going to lose this part of the evidence because of the warrant, so we're trying to build a longer case, and that just takes a while and all that kind of... Like, that's not what this is. This is you ran on being sure about something, and you were absolutely not. So you were lying about how sure you were, and then when you got in, you flip-flopped entirely.
Never had the opportunity to be the FBI director. I know you chat GPT'd like what qualifications on a daily basis.
Wait, he chat GPT'd the qualifications for what it is to do the job of FBI director? Why didn't you call Cash? Oh, because he doesn't know.
You're going to see things that you never thought you would see. And you're going to see people's names that you never thought you would see. And some of those people may be presidents or billionaires or foreign dignitaries.
We all knew that, though. Especially when it comes to Epstein. What he means is some of those people might be presidents, like the current sitting president. That's the problem.
And they're going to say, listen, yeah, you might expose this name with Jeffrey Epstein, but you also might bring down half the world. So what do you want to do? In my opinion, when they get this job, they see things that they didn't think that they would see. And
we just got to trust them. They see things and they get threatened with it. And the thing that they saw was not the file that they believe shows that he killed himself, and they believe it, or that they're lying to us because they're not being blackmailed, but because if they tell who really killed Epstein, people will realize that happened during Trump. And if they figure out who actually did it, it will lead back to Trump possibly. And then Trump will go, so what? I'm president. I can have somebody killed. I viewed him as a enemy of the state. And that's that.
Yeah, he definitely killed himself. Okay, moving on. That's my opinion.
We got a special...
Fuck these guys. And then this is the part where he like sells future looks bright wear.
Merch dropped today with these...
God damn, this is so weird. I like my merch. I don't push it nearly as hard as I should. But... This is like, we got to get about 1 million people wearing this, wearing the future looks bright shirt.
4 states, if you want to play this clip. We have officially 4 hats.
Wow. And yeah.
Representing
4 hats.
Florida, California, Texas, and New York. What's wild about the...
Oh, okay. You mean the states that matter? Can you get a fuck Arkansas hat? Apparently that's what you think. So no flyover states, I guess. Thank God it's not the coastal elites running everything right now.
For states is, I lived in California for 24 years, longest I ever lived in a state. I lived in Texas for 5 years.
Oh, Jesus Christ. These are limited edition. Is that what it's supposed to be? There's only going to be 250 of them? Great. So you'll have a box with 249 in your fucking basement?
In Florida for 4 years, and we own the minority owners of New York Yankees. So there is something going on with each of these 4 states, and it happens to be the top 4 states that we have here. These hats will go like this, okay?
Oh, my God. Yeah, hat printer go burr.
Because they're limited. We don't have a big supply of them.
Yeah, why would you?
The Florida one is going to sell out in minutes like it always does. Why? Because it is numbered 1 out of...
Because it's sunny.
50, and when you order those, they come in this box.
Oh my God! Fucking it's like maggot QVC, the home shitting network. Yeah, Florida man. Right. Yeah, I'm not doing it. Chat room, I don't care. What's up with maggots and hats? I don't think they like the tops of their heads. I think they're embarrassed by the top of their head. I think that's really what's up. No question.